Hello and good morning slash afternoon slash evening slash midday, midnight, space time. Anyway, hope you're doing well. I know I'm doing well, and I am so ready to read this story. This story is That Night in London by the user Extyrsys. I'm probably saying that wrong. There's obviously going to be an overlay, so that's how you spell it. I don't know if I said that right. I probably didn't. Anyway, this is a no-sleep story, and as such, it will not be censored or cut or modified in any way. I will keep it 100% intact for the sake of the art. So, if you're not into that kind of thing, there's your warning, fair content warning. If you are into that thing, I hope you're prepared for a very interesting story. Again, they're all interesting, but, sometimes you get one of those stories that you're like, I have to read that. That's what this one was. So I hope you guys are ready, and if you are ready, again, this is That Night in London. Enjoy. Let me just start off by saying this. It was stupid of me to just doze off in the middle of the night on a London bus stop bench. It was a brisk, rainy day, and I was extremely tired after not sleeping for 3 whole days in a row. I waited for my bus to get back to my house, and I tried to keep my eyes open. I could not resist that temptation or keep my eyes open any longer, and I reluctantly fell asleep on the bench. I woke up after an unspecified amount of time, as my watch had stopped ticking completely. I had just put in a new battery, so I was confused. I sat up from my laying position and looked around. No lights were on at all, not even the street lamps. I felt the cold air latching onto my skin, and the rain continued. What? I brought myself to say. I walked around and looked at every house and building, looking at the dead power. There were no cars in the streets and no noise but the wind in the air. If I'm being honest, I was more curious than concerned. I walked for 3 blocks before any sign of anything. As I was walking down the road, I heard whispers. I looked over to the whispering and I instantly heard something run, dropping a garbage can with it. I pulled out my phone to use the light to see. I flicked on the light and pointed it in the direction where the whispering was. I walked backwards ever so slowly in shock, and I turned the light off, then broke into a run. After about 2 blocks, I took deep, quick breaths and regained my senses. I looked up and saw lights on inside of a building. I stared in curiosity in the single lights in the whole area. Some drapes were covering the window, but I could still see into the 3rd floor apartment. I turned around to look back at the blackouted city and see nothing. I turned back to the window and something is staring back at me. I can only see a silhouette of the figure, and then it snaps and runs to the other side of the apartment at an insane speed. I freak out internally, and the first thing I think of is to get home, lock all the doors and windows, and hide until day. I slowly creep around the area and keep my eyes on the complex that held that thing. I look up at the window once more, and I see lights turn off, and I can faintly see something run and jump out of the window. The window shatters, and I hear a thud, and then the shards landing. I think to myself, I need to hide right now. I look for anywhere to hide, and I see a tipped-over empty trash bin. I put it upright, climb inside, and close the lid. After about 30 seconds, nothing happens. I'm just about to open the lid and jump out, and I hear it. I hear multiple clatters in the road I'm on. I hear it stop where I was standing, and I hear multiple click noises. I can only think to myself, this is it, I'm done. But I hear the clatters again as it runs off. It sounds like a horse galloping, but there's too many clacks for it to only be on 4 legs. As I try to get out, the bin tips over and I roll out. I brush off my hands and knees and break into a run towards my place. The only thing guiding me is instinct in the dim moonlight. I get to a crossroad and I'm about to turn left toward my house. Before I even turn, someone screams an ear-piercing screech that is absolutely blood-curdling. I see someone run out into the middle of the street and something in my head tells me I need to hide. I lay down behind a bush and peek at the person. They trip over and fall flat on their face. In the moonlight, I see their nose bleeding a lot as they slowly get up. I hear the clattering again and it stops by the person. It has 6 spiked legs and the body of an insect. It looks down at the person and rams one of its claws through their body. It stares at the person bleeding out and makes a laughing, gurgling noise. I whimper in fear and it looks over toward me. I can see its head more defined now. It looks horrific. It has a bony canine-like skull with spikes protruding from the head. It has glowing, beady dots in the middle of its eye sockets as well. I cover my mouth and lay still, and it eventually loses interest and clatters away. I slowly get up and move toward my house, about 2 more blocks. Right as I get to my house, I quietly get my keys, and as stealthily as I can be, I turn the key, lock 1 down. I pull out the key and it rattles a little. I bring it down to the doorknob lock and insert it. I twist, lock 2 down. I pull it out and it rattles again. I bring my hand down to the doorknob and slowly twist. Click, click, click. I freeze. I slowly turn around and look at the glowing dots looking at me. Instead of impaling me like it did the other person, it slowly turns its head 90 degrees and opens its mouth slowly. As I come back to reality, I realize how big it actually is. It's almost twice the size of a bull. I rip open the door, slam it closed, lock it, and lock every other entrance. I hear stomping all around my house and on the roof. I hide inside my middle closet and stay as quiet as I possibly can be. It screams so loud that my eardrums are in pain. After an hour, it stops. I get out of my closet and look around. I sigh, as it seems like the coast is clear. I walk around more to inspect the house, and that's when I realize it. I forgot to lock the basement door. I peer around the wall to the staircase and look down. After a couple seconds of looking, 2 white, beady dots round the corner and look directly up at me. So there you go, dear listener. I hope you enjoyed that one. I really like this story because the imagery of that beast makes me think of some sort of like praying mantis with a dog head that's bones. I don't know. It definitely sounds demonic as hell. With a little work, I really think like they could continue this story. They could actually make it into a full-on series. But like most no sleep stories, it's probably just going to be this one, unfortunately. That said, I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did enjoy the story, please click that thumbs up button. That helps a lot. Then, if you enjoy my narrations, also please hit that subscribe button. That helps a lot. Also, if you really enjoyed the story, please consider leaving a comment. I would love to hear from you. That helps a lot. Plus, if you don't leave me a comment, you might find yourself asleep on a London bus stop with a large insect-like canine-headed demon chasing you, and you may, encounter it. I was trying to go somewhere with that, and I totally lost my train of thought in the middle of the sentence. I am very disappointed in myself. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I have plenty more coming, as I always do, and there are plenty of other videos you can watch of mine if you did enjoy it. But, from that point on to the next, I will say, until next time, sleep well.